We're sitting in the best that Mother Nature has to offer yet today. The most outstanding thing I've seen is this couple over here. Alexa, you look magnificent.
Thank you.
Joe, you look... At least he tried. So, I don't know whose bad idea it was to let me speak today, but given this time, I'd like to tell the love story of these two. It's a good story. But before I get into that, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to tell the story of how me and Joseph Merle Roy met. I know this is a bit unorthodox, but it's a good one. I know this is not a day of bromance, it's a day of romance, but just give me a second. So it was a crisp evening in 2010. I was at the Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity house.
Woo! Woo! Yeah!
I was just a young pledge trying to join. I had some interesting pledge mates, and there was this one man that stood out. I don't think, on this particular night, I don't think we had more than 3 conversations. I don't think I said more than 3 words. He said a lot of words, but I didn't say it. But on this particular night, he comes straddling up to me, throws his arm around my shoulder, and he looks me in the eye and he says, "Rust, one day, someday, you're going to be the best man at my wedding." And I thought, Rust, how do you always attract the weird ones? Unbeknownst to me at the time, me and Joe would develop a strong and meaningful friendship that means a lot to me. But the story of today does not start in college. Me and Joe Roy had many antics. Many stories could be told, but I won't tell them here. I cannot tell them here. But the story of tonight starts a little bit after college. Now, I live in Connecticut. He lives in Maine. But we kept in touch all after college, and so we had many phone calls, many conversations, or well, I guess conversations are probably not the right word. The better term would be Joe monologues. But one day, I think it was about 3 hours in after he gave a synopsis of a movie he watched the other day, he starts telling me about this girl he met. He said, "Wow, this is a very attractive woman that he met." And he actually went up to his boss and he was like, "Hey, if we're going to pair me up with that girl." So I'm still not really sure what Joe does for a living, but I guess animals, they need Joe's help, and he goes out there and he helps them. So on this particular night, Joe and Alexa were paired up to go out and catch some loons.
Poach.
Good poacher. But he was telling about this wonderful woman. She is amazing. There was one little concern, just a tiny bit of a concern. Nothing big though. He said he looked it up and it's fine. He typed it right in Google, right there. He said, "How to date a tall girl." So next I got to meet this wonderful woman. It was in Portland. I think Billy was one of our fraternity brothers. He was either coming or leaving. I mean, he's not important. I got to meet this wonderful woman. I don't know if she probably wasn't impressed with me. I mean, most people don't usually know how to take me on the first go. But I was impressed with her. Here's this wonderful, attractive, and smart woman that put up with one of her boyfriend's friends for a whole night. So I was impressed with that. So next came a phone call, and I can't remember the exact words, but it was something like, "Russ, this woman's special. There's something about this woman." And after 3 hours later, once I got off, I was thinking about the things he said, and I was like, wow, already he already knows. And that's when I realized something about Joe. Joe has the ability to look into other people's hearts. He can see from the beginning if you're going to have a relationship. Just like when he met me, he knew that we would be best friends. He looked into this woman's heart and he saw love there. So then I got the call. The "she said yes" call.
Yeah.
He, with extreme excitement in his voice, he called me. He said, "I asked her to marry me. I asked Alexa to marry me, and she said yes." And here's a direct quote. He said, "Russ, I wanted you to be the first friend I told. I told a bunch of other friends first, but I wanted you to be first." So I started to get to hang out with this wonderful woman, and I want to share with you a story of where I connected the most. It was a night we were up at their house in Durham. We were they had a campfire, and Joe was on one side, and me and Alexa were on the other side. And Joe was doing all the talking. And when you talk that much, eventually you say something stupid. It's just inevitable. So me and Alexa were just picking at him a little bit. And eventually he was just like, "What, are you gonna sit here all night and just gang up on me?" And that's when I felt the most kinship from this woman. We like to pick on Joe Roy just the same way. So I was wondering when she knew. When did she know that this dud was a stud? So I asked her, and as a typical planner, she's definitely the rock of the relationship. She's the planner, the one that keeps it all steady. As a typical planner, she didn't want to put down a point in time, but I think she's not giving herself enough credit. I think, because he broke the plan. He proposed too early. But she knew at that point, she still knew to say yes. And I think she knew pretty early. I think that if you look at this love, I think this love was the kind of love that started before time. This is the kind of love that was a destiny. This is a night already born. So, I would like to give a quick cheers.
A toast?
Here's to love from the start. Here's to love till the end. Here's to love that's clearly right here.